Sales training for retail staff. You wondering how come some stores sell more than you? Well, I'm gonna have the answer for you in this video. You're wondering, well, what could I do actually to start a training program? I'm gonna go into that for you as well. And more importantly, what do I get if I have a retail sales training program for my stores? That's the important part we're gonna talk about. Have you ever hired a friend or family member? Were you willing to fire them, or did you have to wait for them to want to quit? First thing we have to think about with retail sales training, are they trainable? And that means if they are trainable, then they have to understand that if they don't perform well, we may have to let them go. And so if you think in your mind, oh, I could never get rid of this person, then maybe that's not the best person to have on your staff. And if you've had them around for a while, even though they've been around a while, you always have a choice to say, well, we're changing direction. Oh, well, we're gonna put a training program in place. Oh, I want everyone to give the same experience, especially if you have multiple locations, right? Because people go from one location to another and it's vastly different. You don't have a brand. You've got a bunch of independent retail, and that's not going to make you money. So think about that. They've got to be trainable. Next thing is think about what's a competitive wage. Now, let's face it, most people are not working for minimum wage anymore. There are areas I know when I was in Manhattan the other day, and starting wage was $30 for a beginning associate. Wowzers. I know some people think they're generous in what you're paying. I'm just saying, look at what's going on in fast food. If you aren't paying more than what I could make in fast food, then you probably are not going to get the best people. I want people who are looking at how much we're paying. We're not paying as much. Is there a bonus structure? Is there a commission program? Are you going to give me additional choices to be able to learn and train? Are you going to be able to help mentor me to be able to do my side hustle better? All of those are benefits that you may not think about, but you have to, because if you're just going by a paycheck, there's a lot of people that can beat you right now. And that's really a problem because so many times we think, well, if I pay $30, they better be well-trained. Maybe they'll be well-trained for some other brand. That's a loser's limb. So what I need you to think about is, if I paid $30, what would I do to ensure they knew what the job was, right? So if I was in a paint store and I'm paying that, they better be able to talk to contractors and homeowners alike, right? So I want to go examples of what they did in one of those markets before. I also want to know, what do they think of add-ons in a paint store? What do they think the add-ons should be? I think most people can get to 4 or 5. They can get to 10. That's why you're going to get the job, because you're thinking like I'm thinking. Does that make sense? What questions do you ask people when you interview them to work in your store? Is it, what hours can you work? Can you stay late? Or is it, give me a time when you gave exceptional experience to a shopper in your store? Oh, well, I give exceptional experience every time. That's great. Give me one example. And bite your tongue. You do not talk. It is uncomfortable. I know. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Or maybe you're going to say, give me a time when you had a problem with another employee and how you handled it. Oh, I've never had a problem with an employee. And I just say, I think we can all relate that there's always one employee that we don't get along. And it's pretty memorable. So just think about it and let me know. If they can't process those 2 questions, how are they ever going to sell your most expensive item? Whether it's a car or a kitchen or a new outfit. I need you to think on your feet. I need you to be focused. I need you to be thinking, what's going on? Some people like to say, oh, well, where's your goal in 5 years? I don't care about their goal in 5 years. Because I can see the answers to that on YouTube or TikTok. They're all over the place what you should say to older people like me. I don't care about that. Just give me an exact time when you did it. Oh, well, this is my first job. Awesome. What do you do in school? Well, I'm in the band. Great. Give me a time when you had a problem with a person in the band and how you dealt with it. Okay, so you got the concept, the questions we ask. Now you got to be thinking, well, what are the A, C, and F answers? What does that mean, Bob? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's an A answer to that, right? There's a C answer and a fail. Give me a time when you had trouble with another employee in the store. I never have. All right, that's an F. You're going to give them a chance to relinquish it. I'm sure you've had a chance. Just think about it and give me a time. They come back and they say, yeah, I told the manager. Like, that's a C answer. That's maybe even D. Like, not who I want. But if you asked, give me a time we had trouble with a customer and how you handled it. I had this one guy, he was late all the time, and then he wanted to leave early, and so he wanted to make me basically close the store alone because his girlfriend got out a half hour earlier than we did. So I said to him, hey, I'm not going to do this alone. If you don't help me, I'm going to have to find a way to either tell you to the manager or look for less hours for you. Well, I want that to happen. Great, A answer. You took initiative. It doesn't matter what came about. But the goal for all of that is to try to see the best of them and then also realize to get the worst of them, right? So give me a time when you didn't give great customer service. Oh, I always give F answer. Give me a time that you didn't give great customer service. One of my Western wear stories, you're welcome. I talk about personalities a lot in these videos. You've probably seen it. And one of them is called Expressive. They're kind of like that excited dog in a dog park. Bing, 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 bing. Stuart was great. And Stuart was my assistant. And so it's Christmas time and I'm at the register. So it's me at the register and then there's Stuart and then there's this display of vests on the wall. And this woman comes in and she just picks up a vest and she turns to Stuart and goes, "How much is this?" And without missing a beat, he goes, "More than you can afford." I was like, he didn't just say that. And she took it down and said, "How do you know how much I can afford?" And because expressives are kind of like chameleons, he was able to turn it around. He said, "Oh, because I saw the shopping bags and I thought maybe you'd used up all your credit or something. Let's see if it fits." And he got the sale. Now, do I want someone like Stuart? Am I looking for a Stuart? There's elements I do want a guy like Stuart because he realized he made the mistake and he fixed it. I don't want to be thinking for anybody. You know, we have a generation that has been taught to let other people think for us. I was in a Starbucks one day and this young girl who's like, I don't know, 7, she turns to her mom and she goes, "Mom, what do I want to eat?" How do we not have that voice lesson that says, yes, this is what I want, this is what I do? Well, you want the people that are confident that can tell you why they should or shouldn't work for you, right? Beyond, I can work Saturdays and any and all. Because all the good ones pretty much have jobs these days, let's be honest. You're probably gonna have to go out and recruit people to work your store. And please don't tell me we got along with 2 people today and it was just fine. No, it wasn't. Because the moment you have more than 2 people, you've said to all the other people who came in, you're not as important and it's gonna cost you money in the end. So know your numbers, know the people that are in there and be able to then say, all right, this is what makes our store different. And then what does success look like? Someone walks in, this is how we greet them, this is how we build rapport. And one of my secret things I always do is when somebody walks in the door and it's slow, this is really important, slow, I would walk in at an angle. I'd be holding something big enough that you could see, this is a little small for me, so it'd probably be a little bit bigger. And I would walk, as you walk in, I go, "Good morning, feel free to look around and I'll be right back." And I would keep moving. Now, why do I do that? Because the hit and run allows the customer to be greeted, but they don't feel pressure that I'm gonna like glom on them and say like, "What are you looking for?" And first time, give them a chance to relax. Because here's the thing, the customer was probably looking at your store last night on an iPad. "Oh, I'm gonna go down to that store. I wanna check out an outfit, a project, whatever it's gonna be." And they were willing to come all the way through traffic to find a parking spot to give you a chance at their business. So they walk in, their hand is raised like, "I'm interested," but they just went through all that crap, traffic and parking, so they need a little space. So when you walk by them, hit and run, "Good morning, feel free to look around, I'll be right back." That other item you have is big enough to notice, oh, they've got something to do, and it's not so big that it's, funny, like a mattress or something crazy. And then you're gonna come back and you're going to talk to them and you're gonna make some conversation with them. Again, if you wanna find out more about that, you could check out SalesRX, my online retail sales training program. You might ask them the first time in their store. And then when you get down into what they're looking for in that day, they may tell you one specific item they saw online or something. But if you don't have it, then you're just gonna say, "While I check on that, would you be interested in something as good or maybe better?" "Sure." And now you've opened the door. You know already you don't have it. You can show them something else. But your goal is to get the sale. And so if you've built rapport early enough, I have the questions, because remember, the person who asks the questions has the lead. They're the one in control of the sale. I can ask questions to find out how this fits into the room, and then I can go through and only say the benefits that matter to that one guy or gal standing in front of you. Make sense? One of the worst things you can see is somebody with a highly technical project, let's say a camera store or something that a lot of hobby stores, really technical information. They want to just say the same thing to everybody, and no one cares about that. They want to care about what's important for me, right? So if I buy a brand new camera body, can I use Wi-Fi to transfer this to my desktop because I really don't like carrying cables around? That's the number one thing you should talk about. Not about how its capacity and what it can do for focusing. Like, yes, that checks the box. Now let's go on. Easy, right? And then as you go through that, remember you're building a kit. So if we're in the camera case, you're gonna have to give them the case probably. You have the camera body, it has a lens, probably a memory card. You start adding up, that's like 7 items. Don't rush it. So if someone's looking at camera body, I might just say, "Hey, camera bodies take a little bit of time. I can show you, this is gonna take us probably about 15 to 20 minutes, but I wanna get all your questions answered so that you can make an informed choice." Does that make sense? Yeah, most people say yeah. They've raised their hand to say, "I'm in it." Do you follow that? Because you're looking for them to say, "Yes, I wanna go further with you," right? So we get down, we get all of that, and then you just say, well, not necessarily in the camera case, but you say, "Do you wanna wear those out or do you want to put it in a box? Is this a gift or would you like to wrap it at home?" Give them a choice. It's the close of the sale. It should feel natural. If you did everything to build rapport at the beginning, you welcomed them, you made them feel good, gave them a store tour, you're able to talk about the benefits to why they would want to get that. You add on one more item because that one more item will make it better, right? So if you, again, going back to pants, what's the logical thing you need? Yeah, it starts with a B and then has an E after it. Yeah, it's a belt, right? Who doesn't need a belt? Oh, well, they already have a belt. Yeah, they already have shoes. They already have pants. They're in your store. They're looking for something new. That's what drives retail. So when they've got that, then you get those add-ons. You've closed the sale. What's supposed to happen? Are you done? You're like, oh yeah, well, cool, dude. You thank them. And if you really want to be good, you take their name off the card. Thank you, Mr. Phibbs, for shopping with us. Hope to see you soon. Is that it? Well, if they spent a lot of money, I would send a personal thank you the next day and say, hey, that was great working with you. I appreciate this and this and this and this. All right, so here's another story because you demanding it. Yes, you're demanding. All right, so here's another story. So I'm in Santa Monica Place. I'm selling cowboy clothes. That's how I got the highest increase sales, South Coast Plaza. It's not important what I sold. It's important how I sold. That's what I'm teaching you. So this guy comes in and I say, good morning. Feel free to look around. And he says, I'm here to get a red bib shirt. Now, bib shirts, you've probably seen them in cowboy movies. Has that little square on the front. Side note, bib shirts were used by cowboys because when it was cold, they could put on wool, or they could sleep with it, it'd be warmer, or they could put on leather for when they were doing roping and things with horns that might impale them. Or if it got too hot with cotton, they just fold it back. It was a great shirt. And at that time it was like $50. And I'm like, oh, great. And this boy was a redhead. And I said to him, I go, that's really unusual with red. Would you be interested in red and maybe something that might be a little different? He's like, I guess so. So he says, well, my girlfriend said I had to get this red bib shirt. And so we tried on denim and a black one. I go, don't you think the denim, you get more use out of it? He goes, I do. I go, but you could get the red for her too, right? He goes, yeah. So I go, but it's going to look stupid with the jeans you've got on. Because I can say that to him, right? I've had built rapport. Get in the fitting room. That's my number one job in an apparel store. Get in the fitting room. He's half naked, right? He's got his shirt on. Still got his pants, his tennis shoes on. What's he need? Anyone? Yeah, of course. He needs a pair of jeans. So you size him up. You have to figure like, okay, this guy's probably like, 33. Most guys buy their pants too big. Let's do 33. Whatever you know is a really good fit, you throw it over. What's he going to say? I don't need jeans. Great, try it on. No, I really don't. Just try them on, see how it looks. What's he going to do? He's going to try it on, of course. All right, come out and let me see you. That's the other thing. You don't fit the fitting room. They have to come out and see what it looks like because the lighting is usually terrible in a fitting room. So they come out, you look at them, you're like, that looks really great. But your jeans are too long. You can't wear those with Vans. You got to get a new pair of boots, dude. No, I don't need it. Yeah, dude, just try these on. What are you, a 9? I'm a 10. Great, try these on. Because you're going to pick your best seller that you think we could sell it, right? And then you have them look in the mirror and go, notice, you got a bib shirt on. Notice if this does this to your shoulders, what's it do to your waist, dude? And you just wash their hands. It's like, yeah, it makes you look taller and makes your shoulders look. He goes, I'll take it all. I go, you want to wear it out? You want it in a box? So he goes, I'll wear it all out. Great. So he's done. That's a big sale. I write him a thank you note the next day. Hey, his name was Brad or something. And hey, it was great to see you. I hope your girlfriend really liked the red shirt. Specific to him, right? This isn't a generic thing. And I hope you'll look at updating your closet again before another 20 years passes by or something funny. 2 days later, he walks in with his girlfriend and she goes, is this the guy? I'm like, oh my God. She goes, is this the guy? I go, yeah. And she goes, thank you. And he goes, she made me throw out my whole closet after I shop with you. I'm here to replace everything. Great. Now notice, if I was an average salesperson, I could have just as easily showed him the red shirt. Thanks very much. And been back to my phone. Also, I hope I'm demonstrating something that's really important in selling, is story selling. Because when we buy an item, there's the item story. It has this, does that, it'll do this for you. Great, great, great. But that's not the real point. It's the person I bought it from. The guy who is the long distance runner who is going to do something. When I bought this jacket at Nordstrom and I met this really fashionable guy and he had actually been tried out for Project Runway, like season 12. And I was like, I tried on this other shirt. I go, dude, I don't think I can pull this off. He goes, man, you can pull this off. Let me show you. That's what I want. I want somebody who's encouraging me. I want somebody to feel like, yeah, he gets it. And I want to bring hope. I want someone to bring hope to me that the kryptonite world I work in, I can change with an outfit or a tool or whatever it is. That I have some destiny to do something more than just feel horrible. Make sense? But that doesn't happen all the time, right? I have an equation that I want you to write down. All right? It's SW, SW, SWN. Some will, some won't. So what next? It just happens. There are times when, dear gosh, I have tried my best to get someone to buy SalesRX, my online training, and they don't. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a failure. I go through this whole thing, right? And then they come back like 2 years later. Or we think that, oh, maybe I could have done everything. Don't get me wrong. I think you need to take apart any sale that goes wrong and say, what did I do here? And a lot of times it ends up we put out too many choices. And so their brain became confused. They couldn't think of it. And they shut down. So quick story, very quick about selling boots. I had one of my guys who couldn't close a deal. And there's a man with 5 pair of boots in front of him. And I walked over and go, hey, what's going on? He goes, oh, he really can't decide. I was like, this isn't helpful, right? So he introduced me, hey, this is Bob, my manager. And so I go, well, which ones don't fit? Well, this doesn't feel good. Great. And I just threw it across the floor. And another one, threw that across and threw another one. And there it was, $600 pair of ostrich boots, $150 basic boots. Which are you going to sell them? Because at some point, one's got to die for the other one to be out the door. And so I said, well, which one do you want to feel better in? Do you want to feel like you're making a mark, or you want to blend in with everybody? And I go, I can see from that jacket you got on, you don't want to blend in with everybody. So why don't we go with these? Okay, he just needs to be led. And he came back later and bought the other ones. They were cheaper. But we have to be focused on helping them get to where they want to be. They're just looking for someone like their mom or dad to go, yeah, go ahead and buy it. Yeah, you're worth it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm giving you all my best tips, so don't share this with anybody, okay? But if you're working with a couple, I don't care if it's 2 guys, 2 women, 2 men, husband and wife, not parent and kid, that's probably not the same. And one of them is like this, and you're talking to the other one, and the other one is the one that's buying, you better realize you got a problem here and stop everything. So I'll say, hey, what do you think about that? Oh, it's fine. You know, she's looking at her phone or looking around, or you see their knees are going or something. Then I just stop. Did I do something to offend you? No. Well, I'm sorry, why? Well, I'm over here talking with, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Vince. Oh, with Vince. And I just feel like I'm bugging you or something. Is there something that I did? Because I want to apologize for that if I did. Oh, no, it's not you. We've got to pick up our daughter and I'm just worried about the time. Oh, good. Okay, cool. And now she's back in conversation with me. If you leave this, that is like a big question mark you're looking at. You've got risk in the middle of your sale. Like, what are we going to do with this? So you want to make sure, in a nice way, right? Hey, you with me? Come on, work with me. I might do that, but you probably wouldn't do that. But the goal is to always think about, how am I keeping everybody engaged and get them what they're looking for? Does that make sense? And so remember, why are we doing any of this? Why are we doing any retail sales training? Nobody likes training. If I said to you, hey, John, let's go training. I'd rather go to the beach. But we're doing this so you make more sales and ultimately you make more money, or your customer feels better, or your associate gets a raise, right? But here's the thing to remember is, unless you hold them accountable for whatever you train, they're not going to change. So you have to look at your reports. What is our average check? What's our average number of items per sale? And ultimately, what's happening with our sales right now compared to last year, compared to the last month, doesn't matter. And what is John or Vince or Tony or Susan's role in that? And then be able to manage them, which means you encourage them, of course, but then you're going to run through scenarios, or maybe you'll team sell with them. If you do that, by the way, you say you're the trainee. Let them feel like they're the one that knows everything, because it'll just break the ice for you. Because what you want to see is that they are actually hold themselves accountable to do what you taught. And if they do that, and they're not meeting success, then remember, you have to be more of a coach with them. And we have to get out of this taskmaster idea that your job is to move this, go there, and do all the thinking for your crew. You want people with brains to think and to help and join you as you're creating a great retail store. And if you spend the time with that, and you spent the time with me, I certainly spent enough time talking to you today about how to do retail sales training, but there's a lot that I've got about that. It includes SalesRX, my online retail sales training program. But before you get there, because you might be like, well, I'm still not sure, Bob, I've got a link right up here. You can click and you can find out more information. And if you can't find that, it's right here in the description below. But don't let another day go by where you say, oh, they're all on Amazon, or oh, I can't find good help, or oh, our customers are just cheap. You control the universe in your store. Now let's go get them.